All right. So now we're on to part 2 of the introduction to defensive security, areas of defensive security. All right. So in this task, we're going to cover 2 main topics. All right. Also, if you haven't watched this one yet, go back and watch that one to get the full experience. Real short. I had to release all these in one day, and you know, it is what it is. People sometimes don't realize that I release 3 videos in one day. So if you haven't watched this one, yet, go back and watch this one. Right. So that being said, in this task, we're going to cover 2 main topics related to defensive security. All right. So we're going to cover Security Operations Center, SOC, where we cover threat intelligence. Okay. And then also digital forensics and incident response. So DFIR, where we also cover malware analysis. Pardon me. Give me a second. All right. So Security Operations Center, or SOC. So a Security Operations Center, or SOC, is a team of cybersecurity professionals that monitors the network and its systems to detect malicious cybersecurity events. Some of the main areas of interest for an SOC are vulnerabilities. Whenever a system vulnerability or weakness is discovered, it is essential to fix it by installing a proper update or patch. When a fix is unavailable, the necessary measures should be taken to prevent an attacker from exploiting it. Although remediating vulnerabilities is vital to an SOC, it is not necessarily assigned to them. Now that I look at this, I'm pretty sure they used ChatGPT or Gemini to make this, because whenever I'm making books with ChatGPT, even though it already does this once. Anyway, I'm not going to go into it, but I'm pretty sure it is because of the bullets and because of the way that they keep repeating the name of it and the acronym over and over instead of just doing the acronym one time. That being said, let's go. Policy violations. A security policy is a set of rules required to protect the network and systems. For example, it might be a policy violation if users upload confidential company data to an online storage service. True. Yeah. So you don't want to be doing any kind of that stuff. Unauthorized activity. So consider the case where a user's login name and password are stolen, and the attacker uses them to log into a network. An SOC must detect and block such an event as soon as possible before further damage is done. Specifically, this unauthorized activity. That's why I have this Satonic over here. So if you're starting to get into this stuff, this guy does hacker videos, right? And specifically, if you watch this one, this Mexican cartel hacked FBI, blah blah. Basically, what they're saying is, this FBI agent sold his stuff. Was it him? I'm pretty sure it's in this one, but in one of these, the person sells their credentials to, I'm pretty sure, this Mexican cartel guy, for like $5,000, and then they go in and do it from the FBI, or maybe it was this one. No, it wasn't this one. Anyway, I don't know which one it is, but if you're into if you're into getting into this hacker stuff, this guy's got the videos, right? They're not too often, they don't come out too often, but they come out enough to where it's interesting, right? So let's go back to this. We've got network intrusions. So no matter how good our security is, there's always a chance for an intrusion. An intrusion can occur when a user clicks on a malicious link or when an attacker exploits a public server. Either way, when an intrusion occurs, we must detect it as soon as possible to prevent further damage. True. All right. So security operations cover various tasks to ensure protection. One such task is threat intelligence. All right. We got a cool little picture right here. Look at, it's all girls though. Is that a girl? It's all girls though. Whatever, bro. Anyway, so we got threat intelligence. So in this context, intelligence refers to information we gather about actual or potential enemies. A threat is any action that can disrupt or adversely affect a system. Threat intelligence collects information to help the company better prepare itself against potential adversaries. The purpose would be to achieve a threat-informed defense. Okay. Different companies have different adversaries. Okay. Some adversaries might seek to steal customer data from a mobile operator. Others, however, other adversaries are interested in halting the production in a petroleum refinery. That's pretty specific, isn't it? Anyway, whatever. I guess that's industrial hacking, whatever. All right, so example adversaries include a nation state cyber army working for political reasons. I guess that's what the halting the production of a petroleum refinery is, I guess. And then also a ransomware group acting for financial purposes, which I don't know if it's that either of those, but we can imagine what that is. So based on the company or target, we can expect adversaries. True. But at the same time, like, remember when that certain nation state used certain consumer electronics as bombs in certain terrorists' pockets and blew them all up? That's who could have expected such a plan, you know? So I think in 2025 we're gonna have to probably defend against any kind of bad actor, you know. Just because we are a bank doesn't mean they won't use the bank for some crazy purpose that we haven't thought of, you know. But that's something we got to think about these days. All right, so intelligence needs data. Data has to be collected, processed, and analyzed. Data is collected from sources such as network logs and public sources such as forums, right? So that's where the collected part comes in. Data processing arranges it into a format suitable for analysis. That's what we were doing in Kaggle when we were looking at the databases and trying to sort them out and whatnot. The analysis phase seeks to find more information about the attackers and their motives. Moreover, it aims to create a list of recommendations and actionable steps. Yeah, so that's what the analysis is for. Trying to figure out who the attackers are, what they want, and trying to figure out what to do, right? So learning about our adversaries lets us know their tactics, techniques, and procedures. As a result of threat intelligence, we identify the threat actor or the adversary and predict their activity. Consequently, we can mitigate their attacks and prepare a response strategy. All right. So now we're on to digital forensics and incident response. So DFIR. So this section is about digital forensics and incident response. So DFIR yet again, and we will cover digital forensics, incident response, oh yeah, and also malware analysis. Okay. So here, let's talk about digital forensics. So forensics is the application of science to investigate crimes and establish facts. I believe it. With the use and spread of digital systems, such as computers and smartphones, a new branch of forensics was born to investigate related crimes, computer forensics, which later evolved into digital forensics. I don't know what the difference is. I'm sure we could look it up, but let's just keep going. In defensive security, the focus of digital forensics shifts to analyzing evidence of an attack and its perpetrators, and other areas such as intellectual property theft, okay? Cyber espionage, true, and possession of unauthorized content, which you don't want to be caught with. You see what happens. If you see it happening on Twitter, like what I'm thinking about, you don't want to be in those guys' shoes. Consequently, digital forensics will focus on different areas such as file systems. So analyzing a digital forensics image, so a low-level copy of a system storage reveals much information. We're going to have to go into that. Such as installed programs, created files, partially overwritten files, and deleted files. Okay, so I guess we're talking about like the logs or something. I don't know. We'll go into that, hopefully. We got system memory. If the attacker runs their malicious program in memory without saving it to disk, Taking a forensic image or a low-level copy, which we were saying up here, of the system memory is the best way to analyze its contents and learn about the attack, right? System log. Each client and server computer maintains different log files about what is happening, okay? So log files provide plenty of information about what happened on a system. Even if the attacker tries to clear their traces, some traces will remain. I wonder though, I mean, like, is that true? Is there actually no way to actually cover your full traces? Cover your tracks fully? I don't know. The deeper we get into this, the more we're gonna know about it. So network logs. Logs of the network packets that have traversed the network, would help answer more questions about whether an attack is occurring and what it entails. True. So yeah, that internet stuff where the packets go over the internet. I don't know if you saw one of those how the internet works videos, but that's what it's talking about. All right, so now we're on to incident response. So an incident usually refers to a data breach or cyber attack. However, in some cases, it can be something less critical, such as a misconfiguration, an intrusion attempt, or a policy violation. Okay. So examples of a cyber attack include an attacker making our network or systems inaccessible, defacing or changing a public website, which is what happened to the Elmo Twitter the other day, and data breach, stealing company data. How would we respond to a cyber attack is a question we should ask ourselves. Incident response specifies the methodology that should be followed to handle such a case. I believe it, but we're going to have to learn about it. The aim is to reduce damage and recover in the shortest time possible. Ideally, we would develop a plan that is ready for incident response. I mean, it's hard. Like, if you're like me, it's hard to develop a plan if you haven't done it, if you haven't gone through it. But I guess that's what all this education is for. But at the same time, experience is worth so much more than training. Don't you agree? Leave a comment below. No, I'm kidding. No, I'll do it if you want to, honestly. Anyway, get that SEO up, baby. Let's get this video viewed. So the four major phases of the incident response process are preparation. This requires a team trained and ready to handle incidents. Okay. Makes sense. Ideally, various measures are put in place to prevent incidents from happening in the first place. True. So detection and analysis. The team that has the necessary resources to detect any incident, right? Moreover, it's essential to analyze any detected incident further to learn about its severity. I believe it. Containment, eradication, and recovery. So once an incident is detected, it's crucial to stop it from affecting other systems, eliminate it, and recover the affected systems. I believe that too. For instance, when we notice that a system is infected with a computer virus, we would like to stop or contain the virus from spreading to other systems. We want to clean or eradicate the virus, and we want to ensure proper system recovery. That makes perfect sense. There's also post-incident activity. So after a successful recovery, a report is produced and the lesson learned is shared to prevent similar future incidents. It's like watching a post-game recording of your video game when you lost real bad and you want to figure out why so you can avoid making such mistakes. Let's go through this flow chart right here. So we've got preparation right here, which we talked about right here, requiring the team and preparing for attacks. We've got detection and analysis, which is detecting any kind of attack and then analyzing it. And then after we do that, we want to contain it, we want to eradicate it, and we want to recover. And this one's going to be in a loop like that. But also after we contain it, eradicate it, and recover, once we recover, we want to do some post-incident activity, which is basically just analyzing what happened and how we fixed it and thinking of how we can prevent it in the first place, which goes back to preparation for next time, right? Just like that. So here we are at malware analysis. So malware stands for malicious software. Believe it or not, I didn't know that until I read this. Software refers to, I mean, it's obvious, but not to me. Software refers to programs, documents, and files that we can save on a disk or send over the network. Malware includes many types, such as a virus, which is a piece of code or part of a program that attaches itself to a program. It's designed to spread from one computer to another and works by altering, overwriting, or deleting files once it infects the computer, right? The results range from the computer becoming slow to just making it unusable, right? I remember back in the old days, I would get these on my computer all the time because, I was just a dumb idiot, stupid idiot. Anyway, not anymore. I try my best to avoid anywhere where viruses lurk. So let's go. Trojan Horse is a program that shows one desirable function but hides a malicious function underneath. True. So for example, a victim might download a video player from a shady website. Oh yeah. That gives the attacker complete control over their system. Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. So those shady websites, guys, let's do our best to stay off them, best for everything. Ransomware is a malicious program that encrypts the user's files. I'm preaching to the choir. Maybe I should take my own advice, but let's go. Encryption makes the files unreadable without knowing the encryption password. True. The attacker offers the user the encryption password if the user is willing to pay a ransom. Boy. Look, hey guys, hey, let's do a little honor among thieves, guys. Hey, don't do me a favor, and if you ever get in the feeling that you need to, show your skills to the code man, hey, just don't. Just not me. Don't do it to me, please. I beg you, please. I don't want to have to deal with that. All right. So malware analysis aims to learn about such malicious programs using various means. All right. So we've got static analysis, which works by inspecting the malicious program without running it. And this usually requires solid knowledge of assembly language, the processor's instruction set, i.e. the computer's fundamental instructions. We're going to have to, at some point, learn about assembly language, all right? Because, we've been learning some pretty high-level stuff this whole time, but we need to get down to the guts of the computer at some point and learn this stuff right here. For this preventative maintenance and whatever, preventing attacks. And, just because I think at some point we're going to need to know how to do that. All right. So anyway, that being said, we also have dynamic analysis, which works by running the malware in a controlled environment and monitoring its activity. So putting the malware somewhere where we know it's not going to mess everything up. And then we're just going to see what it does. And it lets us observe how the malware behaves when running. True. So let's answer the questions below. What would we call a team of cybersecurity professionals that monitors a network and its systems for malicious events? I know it's the SOC, but I forgot what SOC stands for. Let's go up here and check it out. Security Operations Center. Can we copy and paste this? Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Copy it. Come on, paste. Come on, paste. I don't want to have to write you out. Okay, good. And submit it. There we go. What does DFIR stand for? Let's go. Let's go. Here we go. Come on, copy paste. We already know it works. Let's do it again. Digital forensics, something. Introspective incident response, of course. Submit it. There we go. Whoop, whoop. It's correct. What kind of malware requires the user to pay money to regain access to their files? I know that one off the bat. Ransomware. Please, guys, please just don't do it to me. Or anybody for that matter, but not me. Please, please. I would hate that. I'm not like a masochist. I'm not saying, oh, you sound like you'd want it. No, I don't. Please, please avoid me. We're not in feudal Japan. We're not in feudal China. We're not going dojo to dojo to bust up the place to prove ourselves. Trust me, the code man is not a strong guy. Please. All right, so let's go to the next one. All right. So now we're on to practical example of a defensive security, and see you next time.